This episode of Capes and Lunatics is brought to you by Tweaked Audio. Get awesome headphones, go to tweakedaudio.com and use the coupon code Southgate to get 30% off, free shipping, and a lifetime warranty. Or you can get there through the link on our website, southgatemediagroup.com.
This is Luca Perich, and you're listening to the Capes and Lunatics podcast.
That's right. It's me, Phil. And yes, it's the Quantum Zone's own mirthful man of comedy.
Yes, here. Without Will, we left him in the past. Back in the 2019s.
What about our Quasar podcast, The Quantum Zone?
Not tonight, my friend.
What about it, Will? Stay back 70 years. We'll get back to you.
Okay, boomer.
All right.
All right. So, yes, we're going to be doing at least 2 episodes. One for the 2099 books that came out in November, and then probably towards the end of December, we're going to cover the December 2019 books.
Yeah. See how it all ends up.
All right. I think I have these in order. At least
I think so too.
The list gives us.
Yeah.
It starts.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
All right. Well, it begins with Spider-Man, Amazing Spider-Man number 33. There's a big picture of old Miguel, Spidey 2099 on the cover, and then all right. So then it goes to 2099 Alpha is the next one, and then Amazing Spider-Man number 34, and then things get kind of curious. Oh, Fantastic Four 2099 follows that, and then Conan 2099 and Punisher 2099. And I got the variant covers for Conan and Punisher, which I was excited about, only because the Punisher one shows the original Punisher 2099.
Yes.
Not the current skull mask, different guy one. But we'll get to that at the in all good order. But,
yes, we'll get to that. All right, so I guess we start with Amazing Spider-Man 33.
Yes. Great cover. 2099 isn't terrible. I think that he might have been teased at the very end of Spider-Man 32.
Yes.
Right? Was that? Okay. I wasn't sure if that was it or it was like an annual or something. But I forget.
No, he just like dropped out of the sky, basically.
Yes, that's right. And so it starts off, like the Marvel does. Marvel is prone to catching the readers up in case you're just picking this up off your newsstand or, in my case, a record store. And we'll skip a part, after Spidey, he's dealing with the Chameleon and Silver Sable but unbeknownst to Peter Parker, the Spider-Man of the year 2099, Miguel O'Hara, comes back to the present to find him. Miguel was captured and experimented on by Roxxon. They're still at it. They were a big part of 2099 back in the 90s. But he narrowly escaped Roxxon's berserkers by jumping through a window high above Manhattan. And that's where it starts out, with him looking up, confused, wondering what's happening to him. Everyone's taking pictures with iPhones and skull candy headphones up in front of her.
Yep.
Neck beards. And it looks all distorted to him, you see. I don't know if that's the concussed or through the mask or that's what he's feeling. But he has the 2099 version of Alexa, or the Spider-Man Far From Home glasses. It's talking to Lila, and she's not that helpful. But he remembers pieces of what was going on. I guess being in a big fight with the berserkers. And then it just skips to the present for a while, and Spider-Man is dealing with his own Silver Sable coming back to life. Is it Silver Sable? Which is interesting enough. And there is a little bit of a tease with the Armies of Dooms, and that's going to connect to things soon enough. The big fold-out gives you kind of a double tasting of the 2099 stories to come, as well as the Annihilation stuff, Scourge, that they have coming up, queued up. So I'm just going to flip ahead past the present day Spider-Man thing and all his wheelings and dealings with the Osborns and grad school.
And hey, everyone seems to be coming at Dr. Doom.
Yeah. Oh yeah, protesters.
Mm-hmm.
Down with Doom. Victor Von Don't. That's my favorite protest sign. And then we see, an assassination attempt on his life. So that is the place setter of 2099 is in trouble. We have no idea how much because we only got a little bit of a glimpse into it in the first couple pages. You want to take the reins for 2099 Alpha?
Yeah, this is like the big setup for like all the one-shot books.
Yeah. There's a lot going on. Let's see who we can identify in terms of heroes on the front. There's a lot of X-Men 2099 characters.
Yeah.
Which I don't know if we really see much of in there.
Spider-Man, Punisher, Hulk. Looks like a Daredevil.
Yeah, which I don't remember being a part of 2099, but a Thor could be a Thorite, a follower of Thor, but he looks like he is a little bit more businessy hammer than the other one. Is that Ravage 2099 that I spy over there in the corner?
Looks like it, even though he's not getting his own book.
No, yeah. And then a female Captain America.
Yeah, she was in the last Spider-Man 2099 series.
Yeah. And got Ghost Rider with the chainsaw arm going all Army of Darkness.
Nice.
And I said it, Deadpool 2099?
Yeah, that's Deadpool's daughter, yeah.
Ah, right. Yeah, okay. And then, of course, looming behind it all is Doom, who had one of the coolest 2099 books back in the 90s. It was cool to see one that featured a villain all around there.
Doom.
And yeah, Ravage isn't getting his own book, but the first page starts off, first two words are The Ravage.
So is that the area?
I guess so. I think it's the, I don't know, the desolation of it all. I don't know.
Because we kind of see what appears to be a child, almost looks like being chased by shadowy monsters, although this child has like at least 3 eyes, one on the side of its head.
Yeah.
Looks like it's almost going to pick up Thor's hammer, but...
Mm-hmm. And so those are clearly monsters, but the real authority figure in this is called the Public Eye.
Oh, yeah.
And they're all around. They have one big red eye in the front.
They were in those original 2099 series.
Yeah. And they're running things like Big Brother. And so they record everything. So they have basically body cams, but they're sort of distorted. I don't know if they go into it too much in this book, but we'll get into it in a later issue where they record everything that happens, but it can be a little bit, from their point of view, it can be a little bit skewered. So their side against reality or the truth. And so there's a big fight with Thorites in Brooklyn. And it ends ominously with someone hanging with Mjolnir around his neck, but he's strung up. I don't think that's the original. It's just a hammer. There's a lot of people walking around wielding these hammers.
Yeah.
If this was the original, it would be down on the ground and his head would be off of his neck. But he's pretty much strung up by the arms. I love the artwork. I love the landscapes of Nueva York.
Yeah.
And the floating buildings and the like.
Then we get, I believe that's Miguel O'Hara talking about spider DNA. And
yeah, so this is before he transformed, huh?
That's what I'm wondering if this is, as a lot of these books, it seems like they're resetting. So I wonder if they're resetting Spider-Man 2099.
Yeah, or at least maybe like a refresher.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it doesn't say, it does say 2099. So maybe this is January 1st, 2099, and they're kind of setting the table for everything. But,
basically like a don't know if this is like a... is this supposed to be a flashback? A giant spider eating someone?
Yeah.
Oh, I
I
wonder
thought
if
that was him, or is that a nightmare?
Was that a
or-
callback to the original Spider-Man 2099 one? Because remember, they were experimenting before he got his powers, and like they were experimenting on some prisoner, and the experiment ended up killing the guy.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right.
So I don't know if it's something like that.
Similar to Quasar, where the person that had his quantum bands before him died. It wasn't really an experiment. I mean, I guess it was a botched experiment, but he died, and then Quasar took over because he could just handle the responsibilities.
That's right. So, and then Miguel asked Lila to search a term, but we don't see or hear what the term is. So, was he searching Spider-Man? Because I don't know. Is he not remember any of this, or?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe they'll. Kind of curious. I mean, this is where I think what was it, the last book in the it's the second to last book is Omega 2099 Omega, so that would be the other side of the coin.
Yeah, well, I think they lay a big
Omega.
clue in the Amazing Spider-Man, which we'll get to next. But yeah,
Yeah, but this little thing ends with talking about the angriness of the world and barbarians are at the gates, and then you literally see the most famous of barbarians,
Conan.
Yeah. Conan with his necklace of kazoos and with his lightsaber broadsword, and then it ends with the Doom mask, and he's torturing the Watcher. No,
Who I thought was dead, but
well, maybe it's Owatu 2099.
oh yeah, the timeline's getting. It seems like all the timeline's getting reset. So who knows?
Or Owatu 099. Yeah,
I'm looking this. I'm searching Wikipedia for Uatu.
we've seen a lot of Watchers die in our Quasar podcast, but
Yeah, supposedly he died in 2014 in the original Sin storyline. So I don't know.
what book was that? Original Sin.
It was like
Is
its own
that Spider-Man?
miniseries.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, because someone was stealing Watu's eye, killed him and stole his eyes so they could like see cosmic stuff.
Jeez. I don't know if it works like that.
I mean, there's no explanation of his appearance here, but maybe that's because they haven't explained it yet.
Yeah. I mean, there's been 70 years for him to come back. And maybe they just figure he'll be retconned by then. I don't know. But yeah, Doom is presiding over his landscape. He's flashing back. He sees the Fantastic Four and the Avengers battling each other. Iron Man at it again with Captain America.
Mm-hmm.
And this is all through the eyes of the Watcher, because his torture does pay off, I guess. He's able to get some information about him.
But yeah, Doom says only he could have wiped the knowledge of all like the heroes from the face of the earth.
Yeah. And then the next 2099 character is the book that I've probably read the least of. Actually, I haven't really read that much of the original Fantastic Four 2099.
Mm-hmm.
But we go over to Transverse City, which seems like a weird place. So like anything goes as long as you never stop moving.
Yeah, they kind of.
So you can break the law, but if you pull over for gas, they can arrest you. Is that it?
I don't know. It's really weird because, like, I mean, they get into a little bit more in the Fantastic Four, but I'm like, a road that you can never stop driving. I'm like, really? I remember there was like a storyline in Spider-Man when he left the city. There was like a dangerous highway, but like it was like you could get off of it.
Yeah. And this is funny because when it shows Transverse City, there's the typical futuristic cars and all that. Mm-hmm. Although they're not flying, which is kind of weird. Although there is a hovering house, and there's many they don't have RVs, they have literal the Victorian houses on wheels.
Yes.
With the chimneys, I guess could be exhaust pipes, but some of them, one of them, I don't know if I mean, obviously, if it's driving all the time, it probably does, but it does not look like it's going to clear the overpass. It looks like they could at least lose the attic by going underneath these bridges. I don't know. But, yeah, so we see the man who will become Ghost Rider dealing with the old guy in a sweatband and trying to get a new car. They got credits, a system of credits. I binge read all these a couple days ago.
Yeah.
I'm trying not to read on the podcast, but it's
But yeah, this is basically all just set up for all these characters and books coming. But yeah, no, on the outskirts of the city, we see this bar where Herbie the robot shows up.
Yeah.
Which will pay off in Fantastic Four. Then we also get a female version of Venture, who we saw a male version in the original Spider-Man 2099 series.
Mm-hmm.
Again, the timeline's flip-flopping, I guess.
Yeah.
Or Venture's a cyborg, maybe Venture can look however they want.
Yeah, true. Different models. Technology has male and female plug outlets, so,
Yeah.
something like that.
But yeah, Herbie said his mom told him to wait for her, find her friends. Because even Doom says, I will spare this one in honor of his mother.
Yeah.
But something must be going wrong because the Watcher says, there's a Doom coming, and Doom says, another imposter, I'll send the Kingpin. He said, the Watcher's all like, this isn't some noble sacrifice you made, all this deceit and everything. It begins with you and your foolish pride. This is all your fault.
Defiantly saying that, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The last page, it's just like continued in Conan, Ghost Rider, Punisher, Fantastic Four, Spider-Man, and more. So yeah.
Yeah, you see a little picture of them all, and then Nick Lowe, the co-editor, goes through the whole thing of how they came there to resurrect it, and tries to get you fired up about it. Although the two pictures that they show right next to that explanation is the Fantastic Four and the Punisher one, both which are pretty new. I mean, the Fantastic Four especially is new characters. Those are not the ones that we're used to. I mean, even in my limited reading of it, I think I would remember. But I mean, the Punisher could be a new outfit. We'll get to it, but it's not. And yeah, I mean, basically, in a nutshell, when they came up with the idea, the original 2099 was that it was 30 years from 1992 or whatever, 37 years. And this time around, they wanted to show how futurism had changed since the 90s while giving a more 2019 look to it, rather. And of course, Spider-Man is the hottest book, so they spearheaded it with the presents to get that storyline going, to launch that. And that's the only regular book that ties into these, because it's all just one-shots for now, at least.
Yeah. Yeah, because then in Amazing Spider-Man 34, Miguel O'Hara comes, they show him wandering around the city, remembering in the future, everything looks like it's distorting and like the future's just like exploding or winking out till Miguel goes to Doom and he says, Doom, if you did this, and Doom's like, no, I'm not responsible and I can't do anything about it, but you can. So he sends Miguel.
Yeah, this is 2099 Doom.
Yeah, and he sends Miguel back.
He lost his doctor's license. He's just known as Doom then.
Malpractice.
Wearing blue, not green. Showing off that bald head. Yeah.
He sends Miguel back to 2019, where he has to try to find Spider-Man, who Peter Parker and one of his college classmates are working on some project
that involves a
device,
a snow globe. Yeah.
What's a device that's supposed to like predict the future, but even his buddy's saying it needs a much bigger power source to do the quantum computing on that level. But too much power, and it could actually become unstable and start messing with the multiversal fabric itself.
Yes.
Clue.
It's always about the multiverse. Multiverse. Martian.
And then we see, the sniper looks like he was successful in assassinating Doom. Okay.
Yep. If it were only that easy.
Yeah.
Many have tried. Many have failed.
Then we see, Spider-Man's present-day Spider-Man swinging in, and then, all the Latverian bodyguards are getting nervous, but even Spider-Man just, jumps on the supposed body of Doom, and it's like, this can't be Doom, and rips off the head. I was right, it's a Doom bot!
Yep. Surprised it took them that long.
I know.
They just assumed that it was going to be all said and done like that.
Yeah, and Doom's basically like, there's a reckoning coming.
Yeah, he sounds like Papa John's.
Oh!
Maybe Doom had just eaten 30 Papa John's pizzas in 40 days.
That's what's wrecking havoc with the fabric of reality. Okay.
Yes. And that is based on a real news story, if you haven't seen it.
Oh, yeah.
Where Papa John's said that. Yeah.
Yeah, I love Spider-Man. Okay, Doom, I know no one likes getting assassinated, but, just sort this out.
Yeah.
That's when Spider-Man 2099 pops in.
How convenient.
And the Berserkers. And then Spider-Man 2099 says, I remember now. It started slowly, things changing, altering right in front of us, and then chaos. Our scientists kept trying to find a solution. They discovered an anomaly, something that was causing all this to lead them back here, just like it always does, and it birthed the next revelation. He says, my present and your future, my present. There's something connects us, interlinks us. He says, you met people from other futures, different from mine, but those futures are fixed within an infinite multiverse. Though they are other Earths. Where I'm from is still your Earth. There is no branching. He said the collapse is inevitable because I'm your future, and the future is always changing. And Marvel wants to reboot this every 10 years.
And there's no time like the present.
Yeah.
Next page, full splash, mind-blowing. Boom.
Of course, Spider-Man has no idea what's going on. Then a billion Doom bots come floating in.
Yeah, it's like an armada.
Yep.
Arms out.
Basically. Yes, Doom demands justice. So I think this coming week, the next issue comes out, so.
Spider-Man?
Amazing Spider-Man, I think. Yeah, maybe.
Oh, really?
Well, it says in 2 weeks, and I think it came out not this week, but the week, this last week, but the week before, maybe. So it might be.
Oh, yeah, it's true. It says 36 is on sale on December 18th.
Yeah, but
Spider-Man 2099 is on sale on the 11th.
Yeah, but 35. Amazing 35.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, you're right. 12/4. Yeah.
So,
gotcha.
Go run down to your comic store on Wednesday, which when this hits the podcast will probably be tomorrow. For Doom Takes Manhattan.
Yes, and it shows an army of Doom bots and Spider-Man body slamming one of them, presumably, onto another pile. All
right, so I think, I don't know if they matters the order of these, but on the list, I think wasn't Fantastic Four 2099 number one?
Yeah, and this is where it sort of stops kind of mattering for the next three, I guess.
Yeah.
Because they're pretty self-contained. Now, I guess we could kind of rank them sort of at the end, but
yeah, I was gonna say, do you want to review them all and then we'll rank them at the end?
Yeah. Okay, we'll just put a pen on it. Yeah, sure. Now, this Fantastic Four is very brightly colored and kind of anime-esque on the outside on the front cover, and it starts off by sort of a step before it even establishes the characters. It shows their hands. And it talks about family. And one of the hands is kind of a blue stone, so you think that's the thing. One has fire to it. So theoretically, Human Torch. And then the other two are a little harder to read because the first hand has kind of like goop or grease on it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that's invisibility or it was just extra skin from stretching and it got old. And then the next one is just a balled up fist with,
I think the balled up fist is invisibility because it doesn't look a little translucent.
It does. Yeah, it is. Could be blanking out. Yeah.
The translucent woman.
Yeah. Yeah. And then it shows them all fighting and it's sort of a pink Human Torch. It's not really a full flame. It's more of a human lava lamp. and Mr. Fantastic is not a Mister. It's just a regular size arm for one woman and a really long right arm tying up some bad guy Thorite rebels in the other.
Mm-hmm.
And then kind of a slender, spiky-haired blue thing punching a pile of people back. And yeah, I guess, underneath the arm of the Human Torch looks like an invisible woman kind of wearing some cloaks or at least heavy infinity scarf. Not to be confused with an infinity gauntlet scarf, which is what it looks like Conan is wearing later on. And, so it shows a fight and then kind of gets away from it, flashes back to a week earlier, and that's where we see Herbie and Venture, Miss Venture. She has agreed to help him find his mother. He's very obsessed, or his mother's friends, and so they're wandering around. They're inside of some laboratory where he is. Is he repairing his arm? It looks like it's knocked off.
Yeah, I think so.
Ripped off. Right. And he starts getting frustrated. This is a side of Herbie that we didn't really see in Alpha. Just he looks like an 80s toy. I forget what the name of the toy is. You know which one I'm talking about?
Was that Rom?
Not Rom the Space Knight. It was like some, I don't know. It looked like
I think I know what you're talking
Teddy
about.
Ruxpin or something. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
But he's like, I can't find my mother's friends, and if anything went wrong, I had to bring them back.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, yeah, and then I guess they find the first one they find is Vellum, which looks like an invisible woman.
Yeah, she's kind of floating. She's got the Sinead O'Connor hair.
Translucent woman.
Yeah. Over there at Cortez Tower in Nueva York. Could be the modern day equivalent of Quasar's building, also known as
maybe
the Fantastic Four's tower. Yeah. But yeah, they're tracking down some information.
Because she's translucent, but then the next one you see in the Thorite slums of Brooklyn, there's like almost looks like an invisible woman in some kind of cloak, like coming up to the cage of someone else in a cloak in a cage. It's just, that's the weird thing about this issue. Like most of the people are like hard to see because they're like in hoods and cloaks and stuff.
Yeah. And the person who is in the cage has bandaged up hands, kind of like the old school Invisible Man from Hollywood days,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Over goggles and stuff. Yeah. And so Herbie is watching through her eye, through Venture's eye, kind of following along from the dilapidated spot that he's sequestered in. And then we go to Transverse City, see more of that traffic. See a lot less houses on the road in this one, mostly just cars.
Yep.
And then
a couple big maybe motorhomes or something.
Yeah, maybe tour buses.
Yeah, Venture.
Maybe Dazzler's still on tour, doing a reunion or something.
Nice. But then Venture finds Andy Muck. Or Miss Muck. Driving
sort of a station wagon.
Yeah, but she has like equipment inside, like a microscope and.
Yeah.
Is that a fax machine?
Oh, I hope so. Yeah, it's sort of like I don't know. It's like a combination between a station wagon, a laboratory, the car that Homer designs on The Simpsons, and the Ghostbusters car.
Yeah. And she said this is the only home she's ever had or needed. I'm like, really?
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I have no idea what the quality of life in 2099 is, but it would be tough.
What the fuel prices are.
Oh, probably through the roof. How many credits can you spend? And anyway, their powwow gets interrupted by this. What is the Human Torch's name in this one? Do we know it yet?
Well, they're yelling at what's her name? Sian, Sian.
Oh, right.
Looks like she's shooting off like a flamethrower or something on top of this truck.
Mm-hmm. Oh, right. Yeah. So that's the girl in the blue, and then she just flames on, freaks out. Yeah. So they're kind of a couple, and they have a kid, right?
Oh yeah, because that
Bella. Yeah.
Yeah, the first one Venture was talking to is the wife. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That Vellum. Yeah.
Yeah. We go back to the man in the box, or the boy in the box, or the girl in the two cloaked people.
Yes.
Hanging out there in Thorite Village. See the banners hanging with Mjolnir on there. So Thor is dead, right? He's an idea. He's a concept. All these people are following him and talking like him.
Yeah, I think it's assumed he's dead, but I don't know if there was ever any proof one way or another.
Yeah.
He was just like
they
missing.
think he'll rise again.
Yeah.
Not out of the realm of possibility as far as religious beliefs go. So, yeah. And then things have cooled down inside the, I guess, not destroyed mobile, even though it says Cyan raged for a few more hours before passing out. And they just keep going. You got to keep moving in Traverse City until armored cars, scrap raiders, start shooting at you. Now, this is another instance. So this will come up later, I think a little bit in The Punisher. I mean, it's hard to make a completely unique future where it's not influenced by other pop cultural movies or books or something that haven't also dealt with the future and stuff. But this kind of gave me the little bit of Mad Max.
That's what I was going to say.
Road
Mad
vibe.
Max, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And so they're going, it's a high-speed chase. They're fighting for fuel, throwing flying bombs out the window, tic-tics. And Herbie is watching all this, freaking out because he's lost sight on the screen, punching himself in the face with his new arm. And then, I guess, Kay comes in, someone who has a V on her chest. Is that his mother? She kind of looks like the old Invisible Woman a little bit.
I don't know if that's supposed to be her because the message is kind of garbled. It's like, I don't know if the OK got cut off, and it's like, yeah, we got to go now. Ember, if anything goes wrong, you have to bring back the full.
Yeah.
So is that a V?
Yeah, I think it is because he says, "Oh, mother, I tried so hard."
Yeah. Is that a V or a Roman numeral 5?
Ooh, yeah, it could be. Yeah. Huh. And then we see some Thorites, Odin Seer, and what the guy's name is. But they're people who were presiding over the captured cloaked one earlier. They get pickpocketed by one of the invisible kids.
Yep.
Who eventually goes to unlock them. But we're not done. Traverse City, the ladies made it out okay, although they're stopped.
Mm-hmm.
Miss Venture's reporting back to Herbie, and then she stabs Cyan in the arm for some reason, and then we see this Crystal girl get freed. So that's who is underneath the cloak, and I don't know if we know her name yet.
Oh, didn't she say it was her name like Bella or something?
Oh, right. That's her daughter. That's the daughter of Cyan. And then, gotcha.
Because remember, family.
Right. It's all about family. And what's Cyan's wife name, the girl who is driving? Because I guess she's the modern day Mr. Fantastic, because we see her in the next page as they start fighting. And she's got her elongated dukes up and throwing them out there.
Well, yeah, wasn't that the one from the car? Her name was that's the one that Muck.
Muckety Muck.
Yeah.
Yes, Muckety Muck. So that was probably what was on her hands in the first page then. So we got Muckety Muck fighting with Cyan and Bella and the invisible savior who sprung them. So those are the four. She's kind of a thing, although she looks invisible. She's kind of a cross between the Invisible Woman and old blue-eyed Ben Grimm, at least for us to keep comparing them to the modern-day titular characters that it's based off of. And Venture overlooking it, happy to reunite a family. But then she brings it back to Herbie.
Oh, boy.
And he is happy to see them. They're not sure why. And then he starts saying his mother was a part of the family. And someone special like you. The four of us should be together. And then they put their hands in. And boom, twist. What's going on?
They start like falling apart and breaking apart. And he's like, no, I fixed you this time.
Yeah. Ooh, this did catch me off guard. I didn't really know what was going on with this. Big time heel turn. They're not worthy.
Yeah,
they keep failing.
He keeps picking foursomes and exposing them to cosmic rays, and none of the foursomes ever live long enough. Live that long.
Yeah.
He's like, I was so close this time. I miss my family. That's when he opens fire on Venture and it's that Bella back there.
Yeah. Damn. Yeah. It's a grim ending for sure. One shot. Yeah.
The last page is just Herbie standing over everyone's dead body saying, I promise, Mother, I'll bring everyone back this time.
Yeah. So I found the toy that I think it reminded me of. Oops. I just lost it. It's called like a Tiger X2. Let's see if I can show it to my phone. Yeah. Here we go. Nice dead air.
What is it? Tiger X2?
Yeah. Let's see. I typed in vintage the second time, but it didn't pop up. Just typed in if you just Google 80s robot toy, it's like the fourth or fifth thing in there.
Okay.
Tiger X2. This is the segment of the show where we Google.
80s robot toy. Hey, anyone listening can do that now too. Oh yeah, I think I remember. I see I think I remember this. I didn't have it, but I remember.
No, I didn't have it either. That seemed too educational for me, I think.
Well, good. It might have killed us.
Yeah. A little different. It played cassettes. That was the thing.
Oh, yeah.
It does kind of look like it. What do you think?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do remember that, yeah. Maybe that was intentional. Maybe maybe the writers were trying to lull you into a false sense of security.
Maybe it only played cassettes that were double albums because there were 4 sides and it was trying to get the 4 together.
Oh.
Check that.
All
right. Let's get to business. This is the first parental advisory episode, or the first parental advisory issue.
Huh.
Although I don't really see why. I think maybe there's beheadings or something.
Oh, yeah, maybe.
But there's not that Conan sexiness of scantily clad women in precocious positions or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
This is a story of a man named Conan who has wandered all around all these worlds.
But yeah, I mean, we see it starts off with like flashbacks of Conan looks like working with Doctor Doom and Doctor Strange, which is interesting because right now in Savage Avengers, like Conan has just met Doctor Doom, so
yeah, surrounds himself with smart people too, doctors.
But then like this.
Where's Dr. Minerva when he needs her, or Dr. Octopus?
Then there's like a whole room full of villains meeting, I guess, plotting Conan's death.
Yeah, hailing King Tlaloc. Conan swoops in and, maybe
Which I guess
is an axe in the head. It's not that gruesome, but that could be a parental advisory.
Sorry. Oh, those kazoos around Conan's neck look like robot fingers.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Maybe that's it. And they're kind of different colored, so it's sort of, they definitely are. They look like, I thought Infinity Stone. Anytime I see a color coded thing like that, but definitely not. Conan relies on his own power. He doesn't need power from some gems.
Yes. Then we see how Conan had his own little kingdom in our present, kind of, or a little bit in the future.
Yeah. People giving him gifts, leaving him all around his throne. Someone comes in with very long fingernails and also offers him counsel in these trying times as doom advances. And he rejects it. It's a sorceress.
Yes, he gets cursed by Morgan Le Fay.
Pursued by the king of Latvia, who he has an understanding with, him in Doom.
But the curse, I curse you to live until the sun burns the earth under your feet. Remember that?
Yes. He didn't want to say, I curse you thinner. But, so the sun burns beneath you.
Basically just like cursed the whole land, like everything started dying.
Yeah, so all these demons come out, he fights with them, and says that Conan slays them, and everything's dead, and then we see the present, 2099. It's just kind of fun to see in the old-timey font.
Mm-hmm.
And peasants, little street kids, offering gifts of cans of soda. Wow, how the gift-giving process has declined as the world dies. And then you see that the purple-haired, foul sorceress has been in his head the whole time. That's sort of...
It's part of the curse, yeah.
Yeah. Goes with him everywhere. And you see he destroys his old throne and...
Well, yeah, to save his people, he tells them to, basically leave the land, leave the kingdom.
Yeah. Get out. It looks like a scene from The Lion King when baby Simba goes where he shouldn't, goes to the elephant graveyard.
Yeah.
And a meteor comes down from the sky.
Oh, it looks like a meteor.
Yeah. Is it Siren? No, it's a Nova Corpse.
Corpse.
The Nova Corps, yeah. And this is just a bit of a blooper. He's dying and gets defended. Conan kills a werewolf.
See another beheading.
Yeah. And he takes the dying warrior. He takes his helmet off him. He couldn't really fulfill his last request. But in impending annihilation, I don't know if that's a crossover to the next big storyline coming through Marvel, but Conan wears the helmet, grabs some earth with him, like a fan visiting Fenway Park or something, puts it in his satchel.
Well, it says he spent weeks walking toward the sprawling city on the Western Ocean.
Ooh. Where's the Savage Avengers West Coast when you need them? 2099.
Yeah, because even Morgan Le Fay says Los Angeles has changed since last year. The West Coast Avengers were always good for a laugh until their public executions.
Yeah. Oh, man. Yeah. Deals with the little tunnel person.
Mm-hmm.
Walks the city. Sees the public eye. You haven't seen them in a little while. They weren't in the Fantastic Four one. And goes on a high-speed chase. Jumps on some flying cars. See, this one has flying cars. Traverse City, they're all on the road. Now, some of these are on the road.
This is Los Angeles, son.
Yeah. And He's climbing up elevator shafts, jumping through skylights like Batman. And then he opens a room that had never been breached, where he's recognized as a member of the Nova Corps, right? So this is one of their vessels.
Yep.
Because he's got the helmet on, and you hear this automated transmission welcoming him. It says the planet is quarantined, and they recommend immediate exfiltration. You see a long dead commander of the Nova Corps on the chamber in the traditional Star Trek-esque captain's seat, and asking if they want to evacuate the planet, and he does. Well, he wants to. And so Conan of Cimmeria shoots up into the sky and then starts conferring with this sorceress that has been taunting him and for this last long time. And then, yes, get it once you wrap it up with this little caveat.
Well, he's basically, the ship's heading toward the sun. He pulls out some dirt he pulled from Earth and throws it under his feet. It's like, hey, look, the dirt's burning. The Earth is burning under my feet. Your curse is undone. So Morgan Le Fay's out of his head, yeah.
The loophole kills him.
Well, no, the sun disintegrates the ship, but I guess the Nova helmet keeps him alive.
Yeah, how is that? Yeah.
Force field?
But he's out there. Yeah, he's out there.
Yeah, so he heads off into space.
The end? Question mark? I like a good the end question.
Do you want more Conan 2099?
Yeah. So that's a fun little epic.
Yep. All right, let's get to the last one. The Punisher 2099, number 1.
Yes. Now, let me ask you, have you watched and I haven't watched them all. I've just watched a couple of episodes of that British show. I think it's on Netflix, Black Mirror.
Oh, I have not watched it now.
Okay, because most of those shows, they're just one shot, usually about like an extreme version of technology and like with a Twilight Zone kind of twist to it.
Yes.
So I'll just preface it by saying I have only seen a handful of episodes, but I got some serious vibes from 2 of the episodes in the course of this Punisher 2099 book we're going to discuss. And one of them was similar to the way that Facebook has taken over people's heads and minds, but you could walk down the street and see what their social rating was, like if they're a good person, if they get a lot of likes, if they get a lot of attention on their media, but if you do something bad in real life, it goes down.
Oh.
So that's something that happens in this. And there's also another episode where basically what you see through your eyes are recorded. So you could go home and be like, what did I do today? Like I had a meeting. What did we talk about? And you can sit down in front of your TV, and press a button, and it'll scan back to what happened in the meeting. So it's like a record of everything. So those are 2 different things that kind of happen through this. But yeah, let's just get into it.
All right. So yeah, Punisher 2099. Again, don't expect anything familiar because it is a new person. We see a Thorite in a big fight. His social score is going down.
Yeah. 0. Starts with nothing. So it's a little line that points to them. And we see a lot of Thorites. I feel like we should have had a Thorite one-off to show sort of how that way of lifestyle and parts of town kind of came together. But, a little mystery. Maybe it'll get revealed in the next month or so. But there's a battle. They're a battling group. So they're fighting it out with the public eye.
We see a cop shoot down the Thorite.
With a huge social score, 69,683. And this guy is, I know he's not in it, but he doesn't really look like him either, but it's kind of like it looks like a combination of Ravage and Gaston from Beauty and the Beast. They found the perfect balance between the two. Yeah, who is this guy?
But it's the replay of the shoot. Well, supposedly replay of the shooting. The cop is Lieutenant Hector Tago, and I guess he works with or works for
the public eye.
Well, and Captain Jake Gallows. So you Punisher fans, that name should be familiar. They're talking about they say you shouldn't rewatch the playbacks and everything, and memory is subjective, emotions skew the data. Yeah.
And so there's obviously something that's bothering him about it. That's why he's talking to Gallows about it. Something doesn't sit right.
Yep.
And
the replay doesn't fit how he remembers it.
Yeah. It's just that morals get in the way of protecting and serving.
Yeah. Because Gallows even says, I walked around for years blaming myself for the Thorite thugs who savagely murdered my family.
Yeesh.
He says he kept putting himself in dangerous situations with no one to blame but the memories. And then he went back to the Iris. So does that? I don't know if time changed or was he the Punisher and then he kind of gave it up.
Yeah, maybe he was and he got rid of it to work the straight job with the public eye.
Yeah. And Tago even says his grandfather, I don't know, the Thorites converted his grandfather after his social score tanked.
Yeah.
Which when it goes to 0, you're known as one of the worthless.
Oof. Yeah, that's harsh.
Yep.
And that's, I guess, how they refer to all of the Thorites who have a social status of 0.
Yep. Then in Lenox Hill, we see some kind of robot going out of control.
Yeah, it looks kind of like the cap of a pickup truck, but with legs and non-sparkly, non-quantum tentacles coming out of it.
Quantum tentacles?
It's a model AQ42F. It seems to have a mind of its own.
Talking about Alchemax and people trapped in jobs, trapped in cyberspace. What do you do when your social score hits 0?
Yeah. The Roxxon cloud.
We're meant to live like this.
Yeah. And, without going back and reading this on camera, I forget if this one or the Fantastic Four one, they use a classic 2099 staple of using the word shocking as like an expletive for another word that typically ends with CKING.
Oh, yeah, I don't remember the exact page, but I thought it was this issue somewhere.
Yeah, I think that if it's this one, and I think it is, it does get used a lot. Yeah, let's see. I'm sure they put little touches of it, which I appreciate from the olden times, the old future of 90s, 2099.
But yeah, Tago tries to take this robot down, and he's telling whoever's driving it to relinquish control, but then Gallows is on the line with him. He says, don't engage, it's likely carrying a virus. Connecting to it could shut down your whole nervous system. But he kind of does get hooked in and sees, wait, you were a human?
Yeah, and you see its life flash before its eyes. Going to jail, finding love, apparently losing it, crying, being in the Thorite ghetto, being homeless or looking at other homeless people on Skid Row. And then you see Gallows and talking to the man who will be Punisher.
Yeah, they find out, the robot was Kenji Wallace, former Alchemix UX designer. He was arrested for insider trading. Then he joined up with the Thorites. And Gallows is like, the Thorites are getting bolder, uploading somebody into a bot. And Tago's like, Thorites and tech don't mix.
Yes.
So, but basically Gallows has Tago shoot the robot in the head or something, and his social score goes up 500 points.
Wow. I wonder if he's cashed that in for like a big stuffed Garfield's prize or something at the arcades.
But yeah, social. But meanwhile, the news saying social scores across New York are down 2.5 from last year. Mostly due to crime from the lower castes.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. Back in his apartment is Bobby, which is his
Lila.
His apparition, Lila or Siri or whatever, does use the word shocking. You must be shocking wiped after the day you've had. So yeah, Bobby kind of is his good buddy. So shut the blinds so we can go through all this raw footage, and he sees a different variation of what happened.
Oh yeah,
the guy with his hands up, surrendering, and getting blasted.
He's like, the guy was armed. He had to be.
Yeah.
So then he goes out and I think this is his grandfather he's talking to. Yeah, because he goes down in a scrambler mask so no one can recognize him.
Yeah, kind of Two-Face-esque, you know.
Mm-hmm. But the grandfather's like, haven't heard from Tago. He knows about the Tago gunning the guy down. He's like, at least you think we're the enemy. At least we know what we are. At least we're still human. Technology corrupts everything, even the flesh. All users deserve to be punished.
Yes, they deserve punishment.
And
fatalities, acceptable losses. Goes through all this.
Oh yeah, it looks like Gallows just like gunning people down and beating, excessive force.
Yeah, focus on the arrest of Davis Dunn.
Mm-hmm.
For aiding and abetting Thorites and performing illegal cyborg surgical procedures. And this guy looks like he's been up all night. Looks like he maybe have something holding his eyes open because they're bloodshot. He's got a couple days stubble growth on his face.
Mm-hmm.
And they were arresting him to basically use him as a slave for their technological gains. Yeah. Meanwhile, the lieutenant is still snooping around the archives, and his social score starts going down. In the course of knocking on a door, it drops from a 70,183 to a 10,000 points to 60,183.
Yep.
This Gallows looks on, wondering what is going on here. Then he goes to talk to Davis Dunn, who looks, I don't want to say much worse. He looks still pretty bad. Presumably he's been wide-eyed and working on this for quite some time.
Well, yeah, this is his sentence. He has to take this drug and basically just like work at Alchemex nonstop.
Yeah. He's doing surgery on something.
Yep, and he even says, it wasn't with the Thorites. That was something the public eye gave him.
Yeah.
Oh, but the deal was his score would rocket up if he'd get a promotion, a new apartment, and all I got was a lifetime labor sentence.
Yeah. And he's hooked on Cincy, which spells sink if you take out the dash between the N and the C. Not to be confused with Sensimilia, marijuana, reefer. Yeah, and he's talking. It sounds like conspiracy stuff, but, he's probably right on.
Yep.
Corruption hides in everything. It's everywhere, part of all of us. You're naive if you don't see it, and you don't if you're here, because you're not meant to see it.
But then Tago gets a call to come that there's a riot. The threat of domestic terrorism in central Manhattan. Report back to HQ immediately.
Yeah, the Thorites are rising up.
Yep, an army of Thorites on one side, public eye on the other side.
And in the middle, a tree of death, bodies and skeletons just thrown together to make this grotesque little tree in the middle of it. And that's where you finally, with only a couple pages left, you see the man from the cover.
Yes, and his bone mask and everything, and going to public eyes. Don't just stand there. And one of the Thorites is like, Boneface isn't here to help you. He's with us. But then the Thorite gets shot down, and looks like
by the public eye.
Yeah, this Punisher isn't helping anyone.
No, he's on nobody's side.
Yeah.
He just wants to see everyone punished. He doesn't really do anything. He's not really shooting anything. He's just kind of wading through it.
The two sides are just like tearing each other apart till Gallows is like, "What are you doing, officer? Get your head out of your bleep and start killing Thorites." And he's like, "I'm not here for them. I'm here for you, Jake Gallows."
Yeah, and I'm a little surprised that they know who he is or that he's an officer. Is this like a common tactical uniform or something?
I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah. I don't know.
Because, even Gallows knows exactly who he is.
But he starts shooting at Gallows, and not well, because he's just shooting all around him. While Gallows plunges forward with this baton, and they kind of go hand to hand. Then he realizes that it's Hector, and it's another full page fight, asking him why'd he do it, and then says it's not me, it's the public eye, it's their vision,
it's the system. It's bigger than any of us.
Yeah,
because the AI, the AI helps them become 1,000 times more productive.
Mm-hmm. Yep, he's holding him to task about waging war against Thorites and bribes for Cincy prescriptions. Holding him by the neck, and then off screen you see a picture of his mask, and then blood and a crack, and then you see Punisher War Journal entry number 1 as he leaves him on the ground with a broken neck, bleeding out the face. This wasn't about revenge. Call it social suicide.
Yeah, because he uploads the actual footage of him gunning down the unarmed guy. Mm-hmm. And his social score goes to 0.
Oh, yeah. It's the price of telling the truth. And then he's leaving his old life behind.
Yep, goes to the Thorite ghetto, meets up with his grandfather, and he's like, he's going to continue to carry out the sentence until it makes a difference. And his grandfather's like, "Glad to hear you say that, Hector." And he's like, "Hector Tago is dead. He got what he deserved."
Yeah. And that it is it. Wow.
That's November. Yeah.
About an hour. Yeah.
Yeah. But
6 books. I mean, obviously they're worth reading. It's where we kind of glanced over some of the finer details. Maybe some stuff will come out later on.
Yeah, because next month there's 7 books. Well, December.
Yeah.
Because there's like 3 I guess highlighted for December. So I don't know if those all come out next week. Amazing 35, Ghost Rider 2099 number 1, and Venom 2099 number 1.
Yeah, I'm curious about that.
Then after that, sometime there's Doom 2099 number 1, Spider-Man 2099 number 1. I'm anxious to see that. Then you get your 2099 Omega number 1, and I guess it all ends in Amazing Spider-Man 36.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so I know we went long, but
yeah.
Do we want to rank these?
Let's rank them. And this ranking is brought to you by the Avengers Endgame soundtrack that Marvel really wants you to buy.
Oh, yeah. That's been on the back cover for a while.
I know. Well, I guess I'll do a top 5. I'm kind of discount Amazing 33, even though the cover is great. It's just like a bit of a teaser. If that was thrown out, you might not even get to get that. I don't know, but I'll say for my ranking, I'll start with number 5, and I'm kind of probably put the Fantastic Four at number 5, only because I really wasn't that connected too much with it, and the character, the dichotomy of it all was a little bit confusing, a little sloppy. I did like the twist ending.
I will say I agree with you there that Fantastic Four was at number 5 for me too, because it's just, I don't know, it just seemed very jumbled, convoluted. It's just like people just kind of sort of, I know Herbie was trying to bring everyone together, but it just still seemed kind of random, and like half the people were wearing hoods. It's like, wait, who's that?
Yeah, agreed. And then for 4, I'll say the Punisher 2099 one.
Oh,
I thought. I mean, I liked I liked it. It was bleak and everything, but I think that it took too long to get to the part, and there was really only one really active punishment coming out as him, and then it sort of just left you wanting more. So I think I would have liked a little bit more of that. So that's my number 4.
Well, so far we're on the same page because that's what I was going to say. So yes.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Right.
I agree. It was a lot of build up into. Yeah, he just got really last couple pages of an actual Punisher, and again, is this like a new timeline? Was Jake Gyllenhaal's Punisher? Maybe they'll explain more of this later. I don't know, but
yeah, I'm kind of curious if we'll see the Punisher appear again in this. So this one I'm a little bit conflicted because I mean Alpha 2099. I do love the stuff with the Watcher and kind of how it bops around in some stuff, but it's almost like reading a preview issue in terms of there's just like little bits of everything, and it doesn't pay off on all the characters that they show you on there. So maybe I'm talking myself into making that my number 3 choice, I guess, and I'll say number 2, Amazing Spider-Man 34 rather.
Okay.
Because I mean, we finally have them meeting and interacting, and you get the assassination of Dr. Doom and Doom 2099 going in there, and the ending with all the Doom bots descending and Doom demanding justice. I thought was kind of cool. And
so Conan was your number 1?
Yeah, I think Conan is my number 1. There is this does suffer a little bit from the slow parts, but you know what? I liked that it went through Conan in different phases of his life, and there was lots of battles, and it read like a kind of a classic Conan adventure, which I've read some the old random back issues of recently. And it seems like this was the one that I least expected to really, I don't know, I guess I didn't know if I least expected to dig it or just least expected this to exist and they were to choose to make a Conan 2099. So maybe I was a little bit pleasantly surprised in that regard. But I thought it was fun. It had action and it had cool 2099 stuff in there. Nova Corps was a surprise.
Yeah.
And Conan is clever, vanquishing a demon that had cursed him for quite some time. I don't know. I thought that was cool.
I mean, that's very interesting because, well, except with our lists were almost the same. I might switch the Spider-Man and Conan around. The Conan issue was really good, but like I'm a big Spider-Man fan. I usually read it anyway. And I love Spider-Man 2099. That might have just put it over the edge for me. So yeah, just swap the Conan and Spider-Man. That's mine. I know Charlie was saying, like last night and this morning, he loved the Conan issue. I think that was his favorite also.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I'm kind of with you. I'm a little, I could kind of go either way. I do like that Spider-Man gets bonus points because it's Spider-Man and this is the continuous thread between them. You're going to read 33, 34, 35, 36. So you have 4 issues of this. And, even though I discounted 33 from really being a part of the rankings, it was, in the beginning, there was some cool stuff in there too. And so I'll almost lump that in there. So yeah, we're pretty close together on there. I'll still stick with my initial decision, but I totally respect what
I'm laying down.
Point of view is, pick it up what you're putting down. Exactly. Yeah.
All right.
So, yeah. Now let's rank the ones we haven't read yet.
No.
What do you think you'll like the most?
Spider-Man 2099 will probably be high on my list. I don't know. It depends what they do with Venom because, like, they did have a Venom 2099, but he's probably going to be a different guy. And the same with Ghost Rider.
I didn't read the Venom 2099. I guess I should go look.
I don't think he had his own book, but he was in Spider-Man 2099.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. was basically a straight up villain. So yeah, that's what I'm saying. They're probably going to switch that up somehow too.
Yeah. I'm curious what the 2099 Omega is. Maybe it gives some like epilogues to the one shots that because there's no more one shots after that. That's the last of them.
Yeah.
So maybe there'll be some loose ends to be tied up or stuff like that. So.
But I mean, yeah, the Conan, like I said, the Conan issue was really good. I love the Spider-Man stuff. But I'm thinking, just looking at the list, I think I'm probably going to be more happy with the December books than most of these, maybe.
Yeah, there's a little bit more to choose from.
Yeah.
You got Amazing Spider-Man starting and ending December. And then you have the two kind of wild card ones to begin it with Ghost Rider and Venom. I'm looking forward to the Doom 2099.
Oh yeah, Doom too. Yeah,
because that's such a, that's the thread of it all from present Doom to past Doom, and yeah, of course, Spider-Man 2099. I kind of wonder where the story will be by that point. So I agree. December should be a banger, a December to remember.
Nice little Christmas present.
Yeah, even though November rhymes with that too. But yeah. Cool.
All right, should we get out of here? We went long.
Let's wrap it up. Yes,
All
we
right.
did. Thanks for listening to the deluxe futuristic version.
That's right. Well, it's a special episode.
Yes. $6. Come on.
Yes. All right. So yeah, send us your thoughts on what you thought of this month's books. And hey, as you start reading the December books, send your thoughts in. We'll read them right here. Email us, capesandlunatics@gmail.com. Or you can call the voicemail, 614-382-2737. That's 614-38-CAPES. Or you can write to any of the social media. You can find all of those on Linktree. That's linktr.ee/capesandlunatics. I'll get any or all those messages. Just remember to support our sponsors, Hunt a Killer, Buy Pod Life the book, Tweaked Audio, and go check in the show notes for the Southgate Media Group link to Amazon. Doesn't affect your shopping at all, but it puts a couple coins, put some coin in the business because it costs to put these up. So
get your social status up there.
That's right. Be our friend. Get your social status way up there. All right. And a guy who scores over 100,000, Matt Kona. Where can people find you?
Thanks. You can find me at Matt Kona, MatTKona. There's a couple other podcasts that I have been involved in and sometimes am involved in besides the ones that we've mentioned earlier, like the Quantum Zone. But I do a monthly podcast backstage at the Naked Comedy Showcase. This is happening once a month. It's a monthly podcast. You can get around to listen to that. I did a podcast where I reviewed horror movies with my wife, Yael Gavish, also a comedian. That's called Yael and Matt Recap Stuff. So, yeah, check those out. Send me a note, and thanks for listening.
Did you mention Quantum Zone?
Yes, I did. I led with the Quantum Zone.
Nice. Yes.
Besides the other podcasts, the Quantum Zone.
With the two of us and our friend Will Allred.
Yes, the master of the Quantum Zone.
The master. All right. So yes, join us probably in about a month for the rest of these 2099 books. Wonder if they're going to spin any ongoings out of this. I don't know. So, yes. Send your thoughts. Because, hey, interact with us. And remember, party like it's 2099.